The cross fox. When you think about foxes, you probably picture the classic orange-red coat. But have you ever seen one like this? This is the incredibly rare cross fox, and it looks like someone dipped a regular fox in liquid shadow. These mysterious creatures were once common across North America until hunters nearly wiped them out in the late 1800s. Everyone wanted their unique fur. Big surprise there. Cross foxes are basically red foxes with a glow-up. They have larger, bushier tails and extra wool padding under their paws for those harsh Canadian winters. But here's what makes them special. That distinctive dark stripe running down their back intersects with another stripe across their shoulders, forming a perfect cross. Hence the name. Pretty clever, right? Their stunning coat is the result of partial melanism, which is basically the opposite of albinism. Instead of lacking pigment, these foxes produce an abundance of dark pigmentation under their skin. Although melanistic foxes make up about 30% of the Canadian fox population, spotting one in the wild is still incredibly rare. But wait, there is an even more elusive version, the silver fox. These gorgeous animals are fully melanistic variants created through selective breeding. They have glossy black undercoats with silver-tipped fur that makes them look like they have been dusted with frost. Some even have white tips on their tails. One thing is for sure, if you see one of these raiding your trash cans, consider yourself chosen by the universe. This adorable little insect looks like it escaped from a candy shop. Meet the pink katydid, a close relative of grasshoppers and crickets found mostly in tropical regions like the Amazon rainforest. Normally, katydids are green. Makes sense, right? Perfect camouflage and all that vegetation, but these pink variants have been documented since 1874, and scientists spent decades arguing about what caused their bubblegum coloration. At the turn of the 20th century, Harvard entomologist Hubbard Scudder suggested the pink color was seasonal. He thought these insects changed color with autumn leaves as temperatures dropped. Nice theory. Completely wrong. In July 1907, scientist William Morton Wheeler found bright pink katydid nymphs in the prairies of Wisconsin and Illinois in the middle of summer. So much for that seasonal theory. The truth, these pimped out bugs have a genetic mutation controlled by recessive genes called erythrism. This causes an absence of normal green pigment and excessive production of red or pink pigment in their skin. Pink katydids are incredibly hard to find in the wild, and honestly, that makes sense. Hot pink is probably not the best camouflage when predators are hunting you. These little guys are basically walking neon signs that scream, "Eat me!" The albino snake. Whether you are terrified of snakes or think they are fascinating, you cannot deny that albino serpents are absolutely captivating. These pearly white reptiles are some of the rarest creatures in the world, and the reason why is actually pretty heartbreaking. Albinism prevents the production of melanin, the pigment that controls skin, hair, and eye color. In the wild, most snakes rely heavily on camouflage to avoid becoming another animal's lunch. But an albino snake, with that snow white skin, it stands out like a lighthouse in its natural habitat. These poor creatures rarely survive long enough to reproduce. And it gets worse. Albinism often causes poor eyesight, putting them at a huge disadvantage when hunting for food or avoiding danger. On top of all that, albino animals are prime targets for poachers cashing in on the exotic pet trade. Basically, it is a tough life being this pretty. Most albino snakes you will ever see are in captivity, where they are protected from predators and have guaranteed meals. In the wild, they are like ghosts. Beautiful, tragic ghosts. The blue lobster. Lobsters caught off the Atlantic coast of North America are usually pretty boring looking, murky greenish brown. Nothing special, but in 2016, two fishermen off the coast of Nova Scotia made headlines when they caught not one, but two vivid blue lobsters. And get this, they caught them just 150 kilometers apart within days of each other. Among fishermen in that region, netting a blue lobster is considered a sign of good fortune. So these guys basically hit the jackpot twice. The probability of catching a blue lobster? About 1 in 2 million, considering around 200 million lobsters are caught in the North Atlantic every year. That means roughly 100 blue ones show up annually. Blue lobsters get their stunning cobalt color from a genetic abnormality that causes them to produce excessive amounts of a specific protein. But here's the crazy part. Blue is not even the rarest color. In 2011, two fishermen near Portland Bill in Weymouth, England caught the ultimate prize, an albino lobster, also called a crystal lobster, these ghostly crustaceans have a genetic condition called leucism that strips away all pigment from their shells. The odds of finding one? 1 in 100 million. Without any camouflage, it is miraculous this thing survived long enough to get caught. I really hope those fishermen bought lottery tickets after that catch. Pink dolphins sound like something from a children's fantasy book, right? Wrong, they are as real as you and me. These rosy-colored ocean dwellers are known as Chinese white dolphins, and they are absolutely beloved by the people of Hong Kong for their pale pink coloring and supposed ability to bring good fortune. These magnificent creatures have been documented in local waters since the 1600s. They inhabit the waters around the Pearl River estuary, but here is where the story gets sad. Chinese white dolphins are facing extinction. Overfishing, water pollution, heavy marine traffic, constant coastal development, all of it is destroying their habitat. According to WWF Hong Kong, there has been an 80% drop in dolphin population over the past 15 years. 80%, all thanks to human interference. The most recent estimates, just 32 Chinese white dolphins remain in Hong Kong waters. That is a historic low. In June 2020, WWF released an emergency action plan to protect the remaining population. If that does not work, they face extinction. Do better, humans. Seriously, the chimeric cat. Would not it be amazing if you could blend two of your favorite colors together to create the perfect pet? Meet Venus, the two-faced tortoiseshell cat. She has become an internet celebrity for her unusual appearance. Venus was found on a dairy farm in North Carolina and adopted in 2009. One half of her face is solid black with a green eye. The other half has typical orange tabby stripes and a blue eye. She is often called a chimera, which in classical mythology is a monster made from different animals. Feline chimeras occur when two embryos fuse together, resulting in a cat whose cells contain two types of DNA. But chimeric cats are not that rare. Most male tortoiseshells are chimeras. You can see this in their mottled orange and black coats, which indicate an extra X chromosome. Females already have two X chromosomes, making Venus even more unusual. One theory suggests the black coloration was randomly activated in all cells on one side of her face, while orange was activated on the other, with the two colors meeting in the middle as she developed. But her odd eyes have experts completely stumped. Venus might be a true one of a kind, the harpy eagle. What would it take to convince you this is not just a person in a bird costume? This majestic creature is the harpy eagle, the world's largest and most powerful eagle. It can weigh up to 22 pounds with an impressive wingspan of over 7 feet. Their rear talons are the same size as grizzly bear claws, measuring 3 to 4 inches long. For perspective on just how massive that is, check out its claw next to a human hand. Absolutely terrifying. They live in rainforests from Mexico through Central America into South America and Argentina. But these otherworldly creatures have nearly vanished from Earth completely. As more people move into forested areas and demand for natural resources like trees and minerals increases, it becomes harder for harpy eagles to find safe habitat. The species is already extinct in countries like El Salvador and disappearing rapidly from others. Thankfully, between 1989 and 2006, the Peregrine Fund began a program to breed harpy eagles in captivity and successfully returned about 50 birds to their rainforest habitat. If enough awareness is raised, there might be hope for these incredible raptors yet. The golden macaw. Parrots are already some of the most colorful creatures on Earth, but this golden macaw takes the cake. These seemingly solid gold birds are incredibly rare and get their dazzling color from excessive production of yellow pigmentation. The scientific term is xanthochroism. This mutation is related to the lack of red pigment production, which gets replaced with yellow instead. Xanthochromatic birds are known as lutinos, and they are incredibly sought after among bird enthusiasts. Lutino golden macaws are variants of the blue and gold macaw species, but instead of the standard black beak, claws, and facial features plus vibrant blue and gold feathers, lutinos have golden feathers with white features. Their eyes are pinkish gray instead of black. Even their tongues are white. Because of their color and rarity, these birds are worth a fortune. Breeders deliberately maintain the lutino strain through selective breeding. These are living, breathing pieces of gold.